Chosen one, no more panic. God is funding you from this moment. It's over now. The fear, the anxiety, the nights where your heart raced faster than your thoughts could settle. It's over. Because something divine has shifted. Something powerful has entered your life. And from this moment on, everything changes. No more panic. No more scarcity. No more trying to make miracles happen by your own strength. Heaven has stepped in. Divine help is already here. And it's working in your favor right now. Watch this video until the end, because what you're about to receive is a confirmation your soul has been waiting for. In the comments, write your warmest, most powerful wishes and the number 99. This is more than a simple act. It is a declaration that your wishes are being energized by the universe, and it's time for them to come true. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's go even deeper. You are not watching this by accident. You've been guided here. You've been chosen for something bigger than your worry, something greater than your doubt. You were never meant to live in survival mode. You were born to thrive. You were born to flow with the divine river of abundance. And today, the floodgates of heaven are opening just for you. God is funding you. Not tomorrow, not next week. From this moment, the energy surrounding your life has been transformed. Your steps are now ordered by divine wealth. Opportunities that were blocked are opening. Paths that were hidden are revealing themselves. Even the doors that were slammed shut are unlocking themselves, because the key is now in your spirit. And that key is divine provision. Let it sink in. Panic is not your portion anymore. Panic came from a mindset of lack. Panic came from a history of pressure and pain. Panic came from trying to carry the weight of the world without knowing heaven was holding you up the whole time. You were never meant to carry it all. That wasn't your assignment. Your assignment was to believe, to move in alignment, to say yes to the whispers of God in your soul. And now, because you stayed faithful even while afraid, provision is chasing you down. You're not just stepping into wealth, you're stepping into a funded purpose. What you were born to do is now fully backed by the divine. No more holding back because of bank accounts. No more delaying because of limited resources. The resources are arriving with your name on them. The delays are over. The support is supernatural. Take a deep breath and feel it. Something has lifted. Something has shifted. You are being carried now. Not pushed by fear, but lifted by faith. Panic has expired in your story. It no longer belongs to you. What belongs to you now is peace. What belongs to you now is provision. What belongs to you now is the favor of God that doesn't need explanation. It just moves and makes a way. You've been walking through a season where you had to fight battles that no one saw. You had to make miracles out of pennies, had to stay hopeful while watching things fall apart. But all of that was training. Every test, every setback, every tear, it all served a purpose. And the purpose was to prepare you for this moment. The moment where God funds your next level. This is the moment you're released from the mindset of scarcity. This is the moment where your provision is not based on human effort, but divine design. This is where grace steps in and says, "Let me take it from here." This is where miracles are not events you hope for. They become the rhythm of your life. You've tried it your way. You've struggled, worked hard, sacrificed sleep, drained your energy, gave everything just to get by. And yet, no matter how much you gave, it always felt like something was missing. That missing piece was divine support. And now, it's no longer missing. It's been sent. The wait is over. From this moment on, you will start to notice unusual favor. People will offer help you never expected. Resources will appear where you once saw lack. Your creativity will be revived. Your joy will return. Doors will open without you knocking, because heaven has endorsed your name. You will walk into rooms where the atmosphere already welcomes you, because the divine prepared the space before you even arrived. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not falling behind. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And from this point forward, the road you walk is covered in provision. The ground beneath your feet is sacred. The steps you take are being multiplied. What once took you years to accomplish will now take months. What once took months will take days. You are in a divine acceleration zone. And listen closely. This isn't just about money. Yes, money is coming. Yes, you will be funded beyond what you thought was possible. But this is deeper. This is a shift in who you are becoming. You are being restored. Your spirit is being refreshed. Your faith is being rebuilt. You are being upgraded not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, energetically. You are receiving a total transformation. You'll begin to feel it in small ways at first. A sudden peace in situations that used to stress you out. An unexpected deposit. A canceled debt. A friend who offers help without being asked. A business idea that suddenly clicks. A call from someone with the exact opportunity you prayed for. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. They are signs that heaven is funding you in real time. The people who once overlooked you will be astonished. Not because you bragged or tried to prove anything, but because the divine spotlight is on you now. You were always chosen, and now the evidence will be undeniable. So breathe again, chosen one. Rest again. Smile again. Let joy return to your heart. You are not alone in this. You are not responsible for doing it all alone. God is with you, backing you, funding you. And because of that, panic has no place. Provision has taken its place. More is coming. Everything that was once overwhelming is now under divine command. The things that used to shake your confidence, the bills, the responsibilities, the unexpected expenses, those things no longer have the power to control your emotions. Not anymore. Because from this moment, you are covered. You are being financially escorted by unseen forces of heaven that are working behind the scenes. Every gap is being filled. Every empty account is being topped up. Every concern that caused your heart to ache is being erased by the hand of God. Chosen one, do not panic about the how anymore. That's not your responsibility. Your job is the believing. Your role is to expect. Your task is to prepare your spirit for what is about to arrive. What's coming isn't just provision, it's divine sponsorship. That means God is not only meeting your needs, He is exceeding your expectations. He's upgrading your life, your impact, your reach. This is not survival anymore. This is kingdom-level living. Let this truth shake you out of the lie that you're not enough. You are more than enough because you are connected to the one who has no limits. You have access to divine vaults that overflow. You are connected to a source that never runs dry. You are not a beggar. You are not someone who has to hustle just to be seen. You are divinely aligned and fully backed by a power greater than anything this world could ever offer. Let people say it's impossible. Let the odds say it's unlikely. Let the numbers say you don't qualify. It doesn't matter anymore. Because God's funding doesn't operate by man's approval. Heaven's economy is not affected by your past, your credit score, your job history, or your education. When God funds something, He provides in a way that blows all logic out of the water. You're about to walk into things that don't make sense. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. You're being positioned for overflow in the middle of what others call lack. You're about to testify that panic is no longer your response. Peace is, because you know who is with you. You're about to become the one in the room who doesn't flinch when money is mentioned. The one who doesn't break down when something unexpected comes up. Because now, your mindset has shifted. Your inner world is secure, You're no longer operating from fear. You're moving from faith. You are being recalibrated to handle blessings. Yes, even blessings must be handled with wisdom and stability. You're being trained to carry the weight of wealth. You're being prepared to manage abundance with maturity. God is not just dropping money into your life. He's growing you into the person who can sustain it. And He's doing it fast. Because your time has come, you will no longer fear the end of the month. You will no longer dread the mailbox. You will no longer feel defeated by the numbers in your account. Because you are shifting from a cycle of lack to a flow of increase. Day by day, you are moving into divine rhythm. And in this rhythm, you don't panic. You receive. You don't stress. You speak life. You don't chase. You attract. That's the power of being a chosen one. And make no mistake, this isn't just about you. You're being funded not only for your needs, but for your mission. You are being resourced so that you can resource others. The blessings coming your way are too big to keep to yourself. Your hands are being filled so you can become the miracle in someone else's life. What you're stepping into is legacy-level wealth. Not just quick cash, not just a temporary breakthrough. This is the kind of provision that plants seeds for generations. You're about to become the answer to prayers you haven't even heard. Someone will eat because you were funded. Someone will be healed because you were positioned. Someone will rise because you didn't give up. Your obedience has activated a divine transaction. Every yes you whispered when you were scared, every step you took in faith, it counted. And heaven took notes. So now, expect signs, expect confirmations, expect money miracles that don't make sense. Expect divine replacements for everything that was taken from you. Expect divine restoration of everything you thought you lost. Expect open doors without force. Expect phone calls with good news. Expect new opportunities wrapped in peace. Because panic has left your story, and God's funding has taken its place. You may feel like it's too good to be true, but it's not. It's too divine to be denied. And the shift didn't start today. It's just being revealed today. The favor was always there. The support was always around you. The blessings were already prepared. But now, they're visible. Now they're showing up. Now they're undeniable. Your faith didn't fail. It was working underground, like roots preparing for a breakthrough. And now? Now the fruit is starting to bloom. That's why you feel it. That's why things are starting to move. That's why the atmosphere around you is charged with something different. Because you're in the middle of divine release. You've cried in private. You've suffered in silence. You've been misunderstood. But now, none of that matters. Because God saw it all. And this is the repayment. This is the restoration. This is the response of heaven to your hidden pain. And God always pays back bigger. Always. This is your moment. This is your funding season. This is your divine yes. Stand tall. Smile again. Speak boldly. Walk confidently. Panic has no more access to your mind. Fear has no more control over your decisions. And stress has no more room in your life. The only thing surrounding you now is favor. And it's only just beginning. Something radical is happening in your life right now. And whether or not you see it with your physical eyes, your spirit already knows. You can feel the shift, even if you don't have the full picture. You can sense the divine confirmation, even when the evidence hasn't yet arrived in your hands. That's not your imagination. That's your spirit responding to what heaven has already released. You are not in a holding pattern anymore. You are in a launching season. You are not circling the same mountain. You're breaking free. That tightness in your chest is loosening. That pressure in your mind is dissolving. The heaviness is lifting. Because your soul finally knows. You are provided for. You are covered. God is handling it. Chosen one, your provision is not tied to one job, one client, one source. That's why you must stop panicking when one thing falls apart. God is not limited to the channels that humans see. If one door closes, it's only because a greater one is about to swing open. If one person backs away, it's only because their assignment in your story has ended. If one stream dries up, it's only so that 10 more can spring up from where you least expect. Panic shrinks your vision. But now your vision is expanding. You are seeing beyond your current situation. You're beginning to realize that what's coming for you is much bigger than the bills you're looking at, much greater than the fears you once carried. You are not a prisoner of your past struggles. You are the living proof of divine intervention, and that proof is multiplying now. What was once hard is becoming easy. What once drained you is now being handled for you. You used to fight just to stay afloat. Now you're being lifted. You're not just getting by. You're stepping into overflow. And the overflow isn't here to tease you or visit you temporarily. It's here to remain, to take root, to bless you permanently. God is funding you because your destiny is expensive. It costs something to carry the kind of light you carry. It takes resources to move at the speed of purpose. You've been chosen to walk a path where mediocrity can't survive. And now your life is being aligned with the provision needed to fulfill that assignment. This is why you've been feeling a pull. That pull is the divine calling you higher, and now it's backing that call with full spiritual funding. You were never meant to be burdened by earthly limitations. You were never meant to live under financial stress that steals your sleep. That was never the divine design. The divine design is peace, provision, clarity, power, all of which are entering your atmosphere like a supernatural wind. And you don't have to force any of it. You just have to receive it. Let your hands open. Let your heart soften. Let your expectations rise. Because the way you receive is by expecting. And right now, God is showing you that expectations are the currency of the spiritual realm. If you expect lack, you'll attract it. But if you expect provision, watch how fast the universe aligns to your frequency. You're not being dramatic. You're not dreaming too big. In fact, you haven't dreamed big enough yet. What God is releasing will not only cover your needs, it will inspire generations. This is the kind of funding that turns family legacies around, the kind of increase that breaks generational cycles, the kind of provision that rewrites your entire story. And you, chosen one, are the vessel heaven is using to make this happen. You are the point of contact. You are the open gate through which divine provision flows. That's why you've felt resistance in the past. It's because the enemy feared what would happen if you fully understood your worth. If you fully embraced your authority. If you fully walked in your calling. And now that you are, the resistance has no more grip on you. The veil has been lifted. The clarity is here. You see now. You understand now. You believe now. And that belief is unlocking things faster than anything you've done before. It's not about how hard you work. It's about how aligned you are. And you, beloved, are more aligned than ever. So don't second-guess this moment. Don't dilute this revelation. Don't shrink this blessing. Expand with it. Rise with it. Dance with it. Trust it. Because the more you trust, the more heaven releases. This is the reward for your trust. This is the evidence that you are not forgotten. This is the moment where panic dissolves completely, and divine ease becomes your new normal. Ease is not a luxury. It is your inheritance. And now that you've claimed it, you'll begin to experience life in a flow that doesn't burn you out. You'll work, but not grind. You'll give, but not go empty. You'll build, but not in vain. You'll rest and still rise. Because you are moving with divine timing. And divine timing carries divine funding. This is your reality now. And it's only going to get better from here. By now you can feel it. The weight of the past beginning to fall off. The burdens you once carried are becoming lighter. That's not an illusion. That's not your mind playing tricks. That is divine release. That is the supernatural unloading everything that was never yours to carry in the first place. You were never meant to carry panic. You were never created to be crushed under the fear of lack. That wasn't your identity. But now, your true identity is rising, and it's wealthy, powerful, calm, and chosen. This version of you doesn't run from challenges. It watches them part like the Red Sea. This version of you doesn't beg for help. It receives divine assistance before the need even arises. This version of you doesn't worry about how things will happen. It knows they will, because heaven has signed the check already. And that check, chosen one, isn't bouncing. It's been written in the ink of purpose and sealed with the hand of God. You don't owe the world an explanation for your breakthrough. When it comes, and it will come so fast and so massive that those who once questioned you will be left silent. Because no one can argue with the hand of God. No one can deny the glow of someone who has been funded by heaven itself. You'll notice it soon. The shift in your voice, the power in your posture, the peace in your spirit. You'll walk into places, and the atmosphere will change, because you won't be walking in alone. You'll be surrounded by invisible evidence. You'll be cloaked in divine favor. And those who see you won't even know what changed. They'll just feel it. You won't have to convince anyone anymore. Your provision will speak for itself. Right now, even while you read this, invisible things are happening on your behalf. Emails are being written with your name in them. Meetings are being set up where your breakthrough will be discussed. People who forgot about you are remembering you. Systems are being restructured to make room for your blessing. And you didn't even have to push for it. All you had to do was trust. Your trust has become your currency. Your alignment has become your access. Your peace has become your strategy. That's how the divine works. It moves when you rest. It expands when you believe. It multiplies when you give thanks before the blessing even arrives. And now that you've let go of panic, you've made space for miracles. Panic was taking up too much room. It had no place in the temple of your soul. It blocked your blessings, clouded your decisions, distorted your vision. But now that it's gone, clarity is flowing in. Now, you hear the whispers of God clearer than ever. You recognize divine nudges. You see through illusions. You speak with power. That's not just growth, that's divine alignment. And it's creating a ripple effect in every area of your life. Your finances are responding. Your ideas are responding. Your body is responding. Your relationships are responding. Because everything aligns when you align. The panic you used to feel at the start of every month, it won't return. The fear that used to grip you before opening your banking app, it's gone. The voice that used to scream, "What if it all fails?" has been silenced. And in its place is a divine whisper that says, "Watch what I do next." Because this isn't just about being funded financially. This is about being funded emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You're not just receiving checks, you're receiving clarity. You're not just gaining money, you're gaining wisdom. And with that wisdom, you'll know where to sow, where to save, when to spend, and when to wait. Because heaven is not just giving you provision, it's giving you strategy. You will not waste what is coming. You will not misuse what is given. You will manage it with honor. You will grow it with joy. You will expand it with purpose. Because you're not just receiving a blessing, you are becoming a blessing. And blessings do not panic, they flow. So prepare your space, declutter your thoughts, clear the spiritual runway, because what's about to land in your life will need room. Big blessings don't squeeze into small mindsets. Make room with your expectation. Make room with your words. Make room with your actions. Get ready as if the delivery is happening now, because in the spiritual realm, it already has. You are the recipient of a divine dispatch, and it has already left the warehouse of heaven. That miracle check, that divine opportunity, That open door, it's in transit. It's coded with your energy, your faith, your persistence. It's marked as urgent, and no one else can claim what's been assigned to you. You'll know it when it arrives, not because of its size, but because of the peace that will accompany it. Divine blessings don't arrive with anxiety. They come with clarity, flow, and grace. That's how you'll know it's from God. It won't drain you, it will revive you. It won't confuse you, it will confirm you. It won't make you question your worth, it will reveal it. You are not trying to get favored anymore. You are favored. You are not praying for scraps anymore. You are walking in overflow. You are not stuck anymore. You are rising. You are no longer the one chasing breakthroughs. Breakthroughs are chasing you now. And every day you continue to trust, more is released. Every day you move in alignment, more is revealed. Every time you refuse to panic and instead praise, the universe sends another confirmation that you're on the right path. So don't slow down now. Don't let doubt creep back in. Don't second-guess the timing. It's perfect. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're right on schedule. And what's coming is right on time. You've been asking, waiting, hoping for something real, something lasting, something undeniable. And now, it's not just coming. It's here. It's here in every small sign that's been showing up lately. The peace that hit you when you least expected it. The weight that suddenly lifted. The random text or call from someone who suddenly wants to help. The subtle shift in your atmosphere that you can't quite explain but you know is real. These are not accidents. These are divine indicators. These are heaven's fingerprints. Reminders that God is not just watching from afar, but working right where you are. And now, because you've said yes to trusting rather than panicking, the floodgates of favor are swinging open. Provision is no longer something you're chasing. It's chasing you. It's overtaking you in places you didn't think were even possible to flourish. It's breaking through in rooms that once rejected you. It's knocking on your door, and you won't have to beg it to stay. It's going to come, settle, and multiply. Because God isn't sending you a quick fix, He's funding a whole future. And this future is not fragile. It's fortified. Your next steps are not a gamble. They're guided. You are not just taking action. You're walking in prophecy. Every move you make now is covered. Every conversation you walk into is blessed. Every plan you put your hands to is infused with divine energy. Even your smallest acts of faith are triggering major breakthroughs behind the scenes. And let this be clear. You are not being rewarded because you panicked. You are being blessed in spite of your panic. Because even while your voice trembled, you didn't stop moving. Even when your knees were shaking, you didn't stop walking. That quiet courage, that hidden obedience, that's what God saw. And He's funding that. You were faithful in the confusion. You were obedient when it made no sense. You still gave when you had very little. You still believed when everything around you was crumbling. You still prayed even when your voice was tired. And that chosen one is what made you a magnet for miracles. You passed the test, and now the reward has been unlocked. This is why your blessings will seem sudden to others. But you'll know they've been slowly building over time, gathering strength like a rising tide. And now that tide is here. Let it wash away the final layers of panic. Let it flood your heart with the truth. You are funded. And you won't just be funded in one area. No, this is an across-the-board elevation. Financially, your flow will stabilize and grow. The unexpected costs that used to derail you will now barely shake you. Why? Because you'll have margin, you'll have cushion, you'll have overflow. That random invoice? Covered. That family emergency? Handled. That delayed payment? Replaced with something better. This is the level you're stepping into now. Emotionally, your panic will be replaced with peace. You'll notice you don't get triggered by lack the way you used to. You'll be the calm in the storm. because now you know who funds your future. You're no longer reacting. You're flowing. You're no longer fearing. You're leading. That's emotional freedom. That's emotional wealth. Spiritually, your connection will deepen. Panic used to block your hearing. Worry used to fog your vision. But now that the fog is lifting, your divine downloads are becoming clearer. You'll hear ideas you never considered. You'll receive strategies that seem too bold, but feel too true to ignore. You'll get confirmation after confirmation, and your confidence will grow by the day. Energetically, you'll glow different. Yes, glow. People will start to say, "You look peaceful," or "There's something about your energy lately." And they'll be right. Because when you stop panicking, your spirit becomes magnetic. You radiate clarity. You attract support. You draw in provision. You won't need to explain it. They'll feel it when you walk in. And here's something powerful. You're not only being funded for yourself, you're being funded through yourself. You're about to become the divine distribution center, a walking vault of resources, insight, and generosity. And you'll give from a place of fullness, not emptiness. You'll sow with ease, not stress. And your giving will create ripples you can't even see yet. You are entering a season where you won't flinch at the price tag anymore, where you won't calculate how much time you can afford to rest, where you won't talk yourself out of applying, investing, or saying yes to the things you know you're meant for. Because now, you have divine backing. And with that backing comes boldness. Panic made you timid. But provision is making you unstoppable. Your vision is being revived. The things you used to put on hold, the projects you kept pushing off, the dreams you packed away because you couldn't afford them, take them out again. Dust them off. Revisit them. Because now, you can. Not because of a new paycheck, but because of a new power. God is your funder now. And when He funds something, no budget is too big. There's a new joy coming over you. A quiet joy that doesn't need validation. A sacred joy that can't be shaken by setbacks. That's because this joy doesn't come from the world. It comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. It comes from the confidence of knowing the bank of heaven has your name written in gold. So breathe in. Breathe deep. Panic is gone. It can't live in the same space as faith anymore. And you've chosen faith. You've chosen trust. And because of that, God has chosen to fund you without delay, without conditions, and without limits. Now that you've come this far, chosen one, take a moment and let this truth fully anchor in your spirit. You are no longer waiting for provision. You are living in it. There is a peace that cannot be touched by circumstance, and it's taking root inside of you. There is a knowing that has been birthed through every storm you survived. You no longer panic because you've discovered the source, the real source. And it never runs dry. It never backs out. It never fails. That source is God, and God has taken over. Chosen one, you don't need to work hard anymore. God is providing. You've been running for too long, pushing harder, stretching further, grinding longer hours, trying to force results out of situations that no longer nourish your spirit. But now, the season has changed. The shift in the spiritual atmosphere is undeniable. The burden you once carried is being lifted. Not by chance, not by man, but by divine provision. Something supernatural is unfolding over your life. It's no longer about the hustle, it's about the harvest. God is stepping in. This is not just a good season, it's your divine provision era. You are entering a time where you won't need to rely on your own strength anymore. It won't be about sweating to survive. Instead, it will be about flowing in favor, moving in ease, and receiving without toil. Watch this video till the end, because what's about to unfold is going to stir something deep within your soul. Write your warmest wishes and 99 in the comments to declare that you're open to this divine transformation and ready to energize the universe with your expectations. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's go even deeper. The old mindset told you that you had to earn everything through relentless effort, that you had to be everywhere, do everything, prove your worth. But that was the system of survival. That was the reality before God's hand moved in your life. You are not here to just survive, chosen one. You are here to walk in the blessing. And blessings don't beg for your exhaustion. They respond to your alignment. You were never meant to burn yourself out chasing what was already prepared for you. The reason the doors didn't open then was because it wasn't your time. The reason the results felt delayed was because the heavens were aligning for a delivery far greater than what you expected. Now the provision is not coming from the sweat of your brow. It's coming from the throne of favor. God is supplying what your work could never build alone. The life that's emerging isn't a reward for labor. It's a reflection of your divine inheritance. You're about to experience a supernatural kind of success, the type that doesn't make sense to the world, the type that people look at and ask, how? And you'll only be able to answer with one word, grace. Because it won't be because of your resume, your education, or your past efforts. It will be because you're finally allowing the flow of divine abundance to pour through every area of your life. This is the moment where the grind ends and the overflow begins. You will wake up and feel rested, not because you slept longer, but because your spirit is no longer fighting battles that God already won. The resources will begin to locate you. The answers you've been searching for will find their way to your doorstep. The opportunities you thought were lost forever will reappear, this time with better timing, stronger alignment, and divine clarity. God is not asking you to be perfect. God is asking you to be open. Open to receive, open to trust, open to surrender the fear that tells you it's all on your shoulders. The truth is, He's already handled it. The path is prepared. The solution is written. The provision is guaranteed. You just have to take your hands off the wheel and let heaven drive. The reason you've been feeling tired lately isn't because you're weak. It's because your spirit is trying to tell you that the old way isn't working anymore. You can't outrun your destiny. And your destiny doesn't require your exhaustion. It requires your belief, your faith, your willingness to flow in God's timing rather than force your own. Chosen one, you don't have to hustle for what's already yours. You don't have to fight for what has your name on it. God's provision doesn't arrive through panic. It arrives through peace. The more you release, the more will be released to you. You're stepping into the kind of life that others dream about. But for you, it will become your normal. You will look around and see evidence of divine support in every corner. The relationships will improve. The finances will multiply. The doors will open. Not because you worked harder, but because you believed better. Provision is not just about money. It's about being resourced in every way. Peace of mind, stability in spirit, opportunities that match your calling, people who protect your peace, environments that reflect your worth. That's what God is providing for you now, and it's coming quicker than you think. You don't have to keep asking if it's coming, it's already here. You don't have to keep proving that you're ready. You've already been chosen. You're not behind. You're not too late. You didn't miss it. In fact, you're right on time for the biggest provision shift of your life. Every closed door, every delay, every detour, it was a setup. A divine rerouting so you could arrive here, at this exact moment, fully ready to receive. You're not being ignored by God. You're being prioritized. He didn't forget about you. He's been preparing the blessing to fit you so perfectly that when it arrives, it'll feel like it was made just for you, because it was. Provision isn't generic. It's personal. It's custom-made. And yours is already en route. You're about to see what it feels like to not chase, but to be chosen. To not hustle, but to be held. To not struggle, but to be supplied. This is what you've been praying for, even if you didn't know how to say it. The peace, the flow, the rest, the ease, it's all yours now. And the best part? It won't stop. It will keep flowing. The provision won't just come once. It will become your lifestyle. Miracles will become your rhythm. Breakthroughs will become your standard. And all of it will come, not because you pushed harder, but because you positioned your heart to receive. You're no longer in survival mode. You're in supernatural supply mode. And you're not doing this alone. God is not just with you. He's going ahead of you, preparing the way, and placing the right people, opportunities, and resources right where you need them. The shift is real. The overflow is near. And the hard work that once drained you is now being replaced by a divine system of supply. Rest in this truth. Chosen one. You were never meant to do it all. You were meant to walk in the flow of favor, supported by a power that never fails. You've done enough. You've given enough. You've sacrificed enough. Now it's time to receive more than enough. You've stepped into a new frequency. It's not louder. It's not forced. It's not desperate. It's higher. It's refined. It's radiant. There's a spiritual rhythm to your new reality, and it moves with grace, not grind. You've been conditioned by the world to believe that rest equals laziness, that stillness equals stagnation. But in the kingdom of heaven, rest is strategy, stillness is strength, and surrender is sacred. What once required effort will now be fulfilled through alignment. The reason things are flowing differently is because you're walking with heaven's permission now. You're no longer knocking on doors hoping someone answers. You've become the door. You are the opportunity. You are the favor magnet. You're not looking for blessings anymore. They are looking for you. There is a divine orchestration underway, and your name is written all over it. Everything is shifting to serve your highest purpose. You may not be able to see it yet, but it's happening behind the scenes. Angels are moving. The spiritual world is aligning. Systems are being rearranged. Funds are being unlocked. People are being assigned. All of it, just to fulfill what was spoken over your life long ago. You weren't meant to live burdened by the weight of never-ending tasks. You weren't created to live exhausted by survival. You were designed to thrive in a flow of purpose and peace. That's why what worked in the past stopped working. It's why you feel the inner pull to let go. Because the old ways won't carry you into the new blessings. You can't bring hustle into the holy. You can't force what God has already promised. You can only receive it. It might feel strange to not be busy, to not constantly fix, chase, or prove. But that's the point. God is showing you a new normal. A normal where your spirit leads and your blessings follow. A normal where your energy is preserved and your impact multiplies. You're not becoming less. You're becoming aligned. And alignment will accomplish more in 1 week than hustle could in a year. You're no longer relying on routines that wore you out. You're trusting divine flow. You're trusting that provision doesn't always look like a paycheck. Sometimes it looks like a closed door. Sometimes it looks like a delayed reply. Sometimes it looks like redirection. But behind it all is a hand that never miscalculates. God knows where to lead you. And He never leads you where provision hasn't already been planted. You've been so used to solving every problem that rest might feel unfamiliar. But this season isn't about fixing. It's about flowing. You're not the fixer anymore. You're the receiver. You're not the worker. You're the vessel. God is removing the pressure and replacing it with peace. He's removing the weight and filling you with wisdom. He's removing the grind and giving you grace. Provision isn't just coming through income. It's coming through insight, through open doors, through divine timing, through people you didn't expect and opportunities you didn't seek. When your spirit aligns with God's design, the supply becomes unstoppable. It chases you. It overtakes you. It manifests in every direction. This isn't about laziness. It's about trust. It's about remembering that you're not the source. You're the steward. God didn't call you to carry it all. He called you to release what's not yours and receive what's already waiting. That means some things will be done without your input. Some blessings will arrive without your involvement. Some solutions will appear without your struggle. And that's not luck. That's heaven. You're going to witness how ease and excellence can exist together. How you can do less and receive more. How favor can find you in places where effort failed you. How obedience, not output, determines overflow. And all of this begins the moment you stop trying to be your own provider. You are not alone, and you are not abandoned. You're covered. You're carried. You're cherished. Every single need has already been noticed. Every silent prayer has already been documented. Every concern you tried to hide from others, God saw it. He felt it. And He's answering it. Not with a temporary solution, but with lasting provision. Your role now is to flow, not force. To trust, not tire. To believe, not burn out. You're not being lazy when you rest. You're being obedient. Because the real work now is spiritual. It's emotional. It's internal. And the reward is external, exponential, and eternal. You'll see it soon. The calls you didn't expect. The messages that bring open doors. The money that arrives just in time. The connections that come with clarity. And it will be so divine, you'll know it couldn't have been you. It had to be God. No striving, no chasing, just divine flow. So breathe, chosen one. Breathe and receive. Your season of labor is over. Your season of luxury, led by the Spirit, has begun. Don't question the peace. Don't resist the ease. This is the kind of life you were created for. You're not failing because you're no longer overwhelmed. You're finally winning because you're no longer overworked. This is the unforced rhythm of grace. And it's guiding you straight into supernatural provision, unlike anything you've ever imagined. You're not lazy for slowing down. You're listening, and that's what makes you powerful. This world will try to convince you that your worth is tied to how much you can produce, how many tasks you can complete, and how much energy you can burn. But heaven sees things differently. Heaven honors your obedience over your output. God values your trust more than your performance. You were never designed to be a machine. You are a vessel of glory, a carrier of divine energy. And that energy cannot thrive in burnout. It can only be cultivated in rest, in flow, in peace. That's why you've been called into this shift. You're not walking away from purpose. You're walking deeper into it. You're not leaving the work behind. You're aligning with a higher kind of work. The kind that doesn't drain but delivers. The kind that doesn't break you, but builds you. God is setting a new standard in your life. One that doesn't require constant doing. One that is rooted in being present, being open, being still, being receptive. There is divine strategy that's only unlocked in stillness. There are doors that only open when your hands are off the handle. There are blessings that will never arrive until you step back and allow divine timing to finish what you started in faith. You're not behind. You're not missing anything. What's meant for you will always find its way. The delay was divine. The silence was sacred. The pause had a purpose. Because what's being released now is not just a blessing. It's a new blueprint for how you live, how you move, how you receive. And here's the truth. When God provides, it doesn't come through chaos. It doesn't come through confusion. It comes through clarity. Peace is the signal, not panic. So if you've been feeling urged to slow down, to take a step back, to breathe, to trust, follow that. That's heaven speaking. That's the voice of divine strategy whispering, you're safe to receive. Your value is not tied to what you do. It's tied to who you are. You are chosen. You are worthy. You are deeply supported by forces you cannot see, but can absolutely feel. God is not asking for more of your effort. He's asking for more of your trust. You've already proven your faithfulness. Now it's time for you to see the fruit. This next chapter won't be built by exhaustion. It'll be built by elevation. You're being lifted into a new state of being. And in that state, provision flows without pressure. Ideas come without anxiety. Money appears without striving. Connections form without manipulation. All because you've tapped into your divine right to be cared for. You are not in this season to earn. You are in it to embody. Embody peace. Embody grace. Embody flow. The work has shifted. It's no longer external. It's internal. And as you elevate on the inside, everything around you will start rising to meet the frequency of your faith. You'll notice it. The ease, the timing, the unexpected blessings, the sudden solutions. And it won't be coincidence. It will be confirmation. Confirmation that when you stopped working to prove your worth, the universe started working to provide for your path. That's not magic. That's divine alignment. Let go of the old belief that provision only comes when you suffer. That's not your story anymore. You're no longer building out of fear. You're receiving out of faith. And what's coming to you is coming fast. Because you finally made space for it. You finally released the weight, and now the windows of heaven can open wide. Don't be surprised when things start showing up unannounced. Don't be shocked when resources come from unexpected places. Don't doubt it when people begin to bless you without a reason. This is what supernatural provision looks like. It flows beyond logic. It dances beyond schedules. It arrives in waves, and you are standing in the center of that wave right now. Everything you thought you had to grind for is now being released with grace. Everything you thought would take years will now arrive in moments. Because you surrendered. Because you trusted. Because you listened. And this is just the beginning. The more you lean into this divine rhythm, the more you'll see how powerful rest can be. How profitable peace can be. How productive surrender can be. You'll realize that what was once draining you was never meant for you. And what's nourishing you now is exactly what was promised all along. You'll start to hear yourself say things like, "I didn't even try and it just worked out." That's divine provision. "I was just being myself and the opportunity came." That's divine alignment. "I had no idea how this would happen, and then it just showed up." That's divine flow. That's your new normal. You've exited the grind. You've been welcomed into the grace, and nothing, absolutely nothing will be able to stop what is meant for you. Not delay, not doubt, not difficulty. Because when God provides, He does it completely. He leaves no gaps, no shortages, no confusion, just fullness. And now it's your turn to walk in it. You're not waiting anymore. You're receiving. You're not proving. You're flowing. You're not earning. You're embodying. And what comes next will shock you with joy, peace, and overflow. Chosen one, there's a reason things feel lighter now. It's not because life has changed. It's because you've changed. Your spirit has risen above the old patterns. You've stopped glorifying burnout. You've stopped calling exhaustion purpose. And now, the universe is responding. Not to your hustle, but to your healing. Not to your struggle, but to your surrender. You've stopped wrestling, and now you're resting. And that's the secret to divine provision. You were not born to be busy. You were born to be blessed. And now, heaven is proving it. The more you embrace this truth, the more things will begin to align without effort. You'll begin to experience joy without a reason, results without resistance, blessings without breakdowns. This isn't fantasy, it's favor. It's not a dream, it's divine reality. Provision flows where pressure is released. That's why things are accelerating for you now. The energy that used to be blocked by fear and overworking is now open. It's clean. It's clear. It's receptive. You're not dragging old beliefs with you anymore. You've cut ties with the mindset that told you you had to suffer for everything good in your life. And now the good is showing up, freely, fully, and frequently. What's beautiful about this season is that you're not chasing blessings. You're living as if they've already arrived. That's faith in action. That's spiritual maturity. And it's that posture that activates provision faster than any amount of labor ever could. When you believe that you're already supported, the world rearranges itself to support you. Your trust is a magnet. It pulls provision from directions you never thought to look. It attracts people who see your worth before you speak a word. It pulls in resources that you didn't even know existed. That's why it's so important now to maintain the energy of expectancy. Expect it to work. Expect the way to be made. Expect the door to open. Expect the overflow. This isn't just about believing in provision. It's about becoming a vessel of it. You're not just receiving help. You're becoming the proof that divine support is real. You're walking evidence that you don't have to push to prosper, that you don't have to collapse in order to be blessed, that you don't have to run yourself into the ground in order to rise. Every time you allow peace to lead the way, you're building a new legacy, one where generations after you will know that it's possible to thrive in purpose without being a prisoner to pressure. You're breaking cycles. You're rewriting what success looks like. You're dismantling the lie that says your value is earned by exhaustion. Let the world call it luck. They don't know what grace looks like. Let them wonder how you keep winning when you're not even chasing. Let them try to make sense of a miracle that was never meant to be logical. This isn't about what makes sense. This is about what's sacred. Provision is sacred. Peace is sacred. Rest is sacred. And now your life is becoming a sanctuary for all three. You'll find yourself breathing deeper, laughing more, smiling without even noticing. That's the shift settling in. You'll notice how doors that once slammed shut now swing open. How things that once required effort now respond to ease. How people who once overlooked you now seek your presence. Because you're glowing with a different energy. One that isn't strained, but sustained by divine flow. And what's most powerful about this is, you're not doing anything extra. You're just being, and that being is enough. You're finally living in the truth that your existence is a blessing, that your presence alone carries power, that just showing up with an open heart is the key to unlocking more than years of striving ever could. You've stopped trying to manufacture outcomes. You've stopped over-planning. You've stopped micromanaging your own miracles. And now the supernatural is free to operate. God doesn't need your stress to succeed. He needs your surrender. And now that you've given it, nothing can stop the flow. The beauty of this moment is that it's not temporary. This isn't a one-time miracle. This is your new rhythm. This is your new atmosphere. Provision is becoming your language. Ease is becoming your normal. And peace is becoming your companion. You'll no longer identify with phrases like working hard or barely making it or just getting by. That version of you is gone. You're being introduced to the version of you that flows in divine timing, operates with spiritual insight, and receives more by doing less. This is the rebirth, the sacred rebirth into a life that honors your soul, your purpose, and your path. It's a divine reset, a holy restructuring of your reality. And it's happening in real time, without you needing to force a single thing. You're not behind. You're being guided. You're not out of time. You're in divine timing. You're not losing. You're being led. And the results will not just restore what was lost. They will overflow and elevate everything around you. What comes next will not require your sweat. It will require your stillness. What unfolds from here will not demand your panic. It will respond to your peace. And that peace will become your power. That stillness will become your strategy. That faith will become your fuel. You're in the middle of a supernatural transaction. Heaven is releasing and you are receiving. Not because you earned it, not because you chased it, but because you aligned with it. That's your true work now. to align, to stay open, to stay willing, to stay available to what God is doing. Chosen one, take a moment to reflect on the path you've walked. All those years of striving, stressing, doubting, and pushing. Every time you held on just a little longer when everything told you to give up. Every silent tear. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion. They didn't go unnoticed. None of it was wasted. Heaven collected every ounce of your resilience. And now it's time to reap from the soil you've watered with your faith. You didn't break. You evolved. And because of that, God is giving you a new operating system. Not one that requires more motion, but more devotion. Not more chaos, but more clarity. You're entering a lifestyle that runs on divine intelligence, not human exhaustion. This means things will start to work without explanation. Paths will open without planning, and people will help without prompting. It's the supernatural flow, and it's flowing for you. You're not here to hustle your way into healing. You're here to hold space for miracles. You're here to stand in stillness and watch what happens when God becomes your CEO, your strategist, your provider. When you let go of needing to do it all, you allow divine intelligence to do what only heaven can do. And that, chosen one, is when everything begins to multiply. You'll wake up with clarity. Your body will feel lighter, your thoughts more peaceful. Your spirit will begin to hum with calm authority. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you finally trust the one who does. And that trust is magnetic. It's powerful. It draws provision to your doorstep like a river flowing downhill, effortlessly, continually, consistently. You've been called into a new way of living, and it's unapologetically abundant. You won't need to apologize for receiving what others still believe they must earn. You won't need to explain your peace in the middle of chaos. You won't need to defend the blessings that come to you without struggle. Because what you're walking in is not man-made. It's divinely ordered. And here's the truth. Favor is unfair. But it's yours. You didn't manipulate it. You didn't manufacture it. You didn't force it. You aligned with it. You stayed faithful. You kept your heart open. You listened when others rushed. You rested when others ran. And now, God is proving that trust is stronger than toil. You're no longer responsible for carrying the weight of your future. God is carrying it for you. And He's doing it with love, with precision, and with abundance. That means you can release the tension in your shoulders. You can let go of the deadlines that were draining your joy. You can stop worrying about how it's going to happen. Because it is going to happen. Not through pressure, but through promise. And when you look around and realize how easy things have started to feel, don't question it. Embrace it. You've entered the divine ease zone. This is the realm where grace outruns grind, where peace outshines panic, where provision outpaces pressure. And you're not just visiting, you're living here now. This ease is not a break from your calling. It is your calling. You are called to show others that life doesn't have to hurt to be holy, that work doesn't have to be heavy to be honorable, that success doesn't require suffering when it's guided by spirit. God is using you as a living example of what happens when someone releases control and receives favor. You are walking proof that provision flows when you stop trying to earn it and start receiving it as your divine right. And this isn't just for you. As you begin to live in this peace, others will be drawn to you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. They'll feel safe around your energy. They'll feel hope in your presence. And you'll be able to say with boldness, "This is what it looks like when God provides." You'll be the calm in their storm, the light in their tunnel, the reminder that life doesn't have to be hard to be holy. You'll carry the kind of peace that people will want to follow. And as they ask how you did it, you'll simply say, "I stopped striving. I started trusting. And I watched the heavens move on my behalf." You'll walk through doors with no key because favor is the access code. You'll find yourself in rooms where decisions are made, rooms where miracles begin, rooms where resources flow freely, and not because you demanded them, but because you were destined for them. That's the difference now. You're not pushing. You're pulling. You're pulling blessings from the spiritual realm into the physical with your faith, with your calm, with your peace. And the more you let go of your grip, the stronger your gravity becomes. Because provision is attracted to your trust like a flame to oxygen. The shift is not a one-time moment. It's a lifestyle, a new normal. And every single time you feel tempted to fall back into hustle mode, remind yourself, I'm already provided for. I don't need to chase what's already mine. This is the reality that's being established for you, chosen one. You are being led by unseen hands into abundance you didn't build, into favor you didn't manufacture, into overflow you didn't orchestrate. Why? Because God is showing you that your worth is not in your work. It's in your willingness to receive. You've earned the right to rest. You've walked through fire to stand in this peace. And now, all that's left to do is receive. Receive deeply, receive consistently, and receive boldly. Because the God who called you is also the God who's committed to providing for you.